Hello, my name is Zack Harrison, and this is my computer science NEA project, Photon Rift. It's a space combat game. At the moment, I'm just on the menu screen, you can see, and I'm going to be demonstrating its features here, and sort of how it works. So the main gameplay loop of this game is that you start off, as you can see, I've got no score or anything, and I can move around very slowly using like the keyboard and mouse. That's keyboard, or I can use the mouse here, or I can and I can accelerate and decelerate on the mouse as well. Scroll wheel. And I've currently got no score. I can just move around very slowly, and I can shoot lasers. And the idea is that you encounter enemies, and then when you kill the enemies, you get score, and you can use that to upgrade your spaceship. So first of all, I'm just gonna demonstrate the upgrading because this demonstration is gonna be a bit quicker if I jump to an upgraded ship. So I'm gonna just load a save file here. So there's a loading and saving feature. So I can just demonstrate loading now. I already have a save file prepared, which has, I believe, 60,000 score saved in the save file. So if I click load and I load slot 1, which is where the save file is, it will instantly load in, and as you can see, I have 60,000 score. This save file is also completely unupgraded. Now, in this game, you've got stars, as you can see there, and you've got normal planets, and then you've also got green like planets which look like kind of a bit like Earth. They're not Earth, but they look a bit like Earth. And these planets are special in that you can enter them, unlike other planets where you would, or stars where you would just crash into them. These I can enter. So,
Commander, we have received
I did actually just encounter enemies there, so that's the voice line.
Be ready to engage if necessary.
As you can hear there, that's the voice line that plays when you encounter enemies in the game. So it's it lets you know that they're there, as well as this flashing indicator here. So that you can encounter enemies around any planet. I think it's a one in 3 chance of encountering enemies when you get within the radius of a planet or star, and that just happened to happen there. When I exit from landing this planet, I'll probably be further enough away that they'll despawn, but there you go, that happens. So if I upgrade here, I can increase the thrust, and I can increase the fire rate. Now I'm just going to do it all the way, because I've got enough score to, and you'll be able to see a clearer difference, but there are incremental stages between each of those, which I can demonstrate later. So now that I'm upgraded, you can see that's the planet we were at there. And if I shoot the lasers now, you will see it is much faster. And also, I'm also a lot faster just generally, which obviously then upgrade. Now, what this game also uses is it uses a procedural generation system. So you can see I'm flying, and I can fly in any given direction, and I will never encounter empty space. It will just keep generating more and more. Sometimes it will seem empty, and then suddenly more planets will appear. So it will just keep generating. And then yeah, so that's the procedural generation system. And it's when you save, the save files don't just contain the score and your health and things. It also contains the world itself and your position in it. So, for instance, and also your upgrade levels. So if I go, let's say over here, okay, and I save the game, I'll save it to slot 3. Okay. So then, if I'm gonna just load our first save file again. Now you can see I'm back where we were before. I'm not upgraded. I'm over here. But if I then load and I load slot 3. You can see, oh, I moved a bit when I spawned in, but there you go, that's that planet we saw. And I'm fully upgraded, and I have speed that I did before. So that's how that works. Now, the enemies just spawning in there. So when you get far enough away from enemies, they'll despawn because you've gotten out of the radius where they could be a threat to you. That would make sense. Now, so what I'm going to demonstrate now is how the enemies. So this is also a fully upgraded save file. So if I go to just any planet. Now it's 1 in 3, so it won't always happen, as you can. So I can go to anyone. They go to the spawn bin. Now you can see I'm being hit already, and my shield is going down. Now I can shoot at them, and you can see my score is going up as I shoot at them. Now they actually very nearly killed me there, and my health is very low, but I'm still alive. So what you will have seen there is that the shield went down, and then as the shield got to 0, then my health started going down, and my shield is now regenerated because the shield starts regenerating as soon as as soon as the shield hits 0, it starts regenerating. But whilst the shield is regenerating, you're vulnerable, and any further damage then goes into your health. You can't regenerate health, so the idea is that you want to try and only damage your shield, but it's quite difficult. If you die, you will reload the last save file, but with less score. So I can demonstrate that by if I die via hitting a planet or getting shot and my health decreasing, it will result in the same outcome. So if I just crash into this planet, I will explode, and then I will reload, and you can see now I've only got 11,000 score, whereas that save file that I loaded, which was slot 2, has 12,000 score. So it reloaded that save file, but it gave me 1,000 less. Then the high score obviously only goes up if you surpass that. So on this save file, at one point, I obviously had 60,000 score, but I lost it. The high score doesn't mean anything other than, an achievement metric. So you can go, well, at one point I had that much, but you can't use it to spend in upgrade shops or anything. So, also, there is a menu with extensive things. This is a control, so it just tells you what the controls are. Then there is audio. I can turn that off. So you can see now when I'm clicking these menu buttons, there is no audio. I'll turn that on. Then we have texturing options. So you can select the game to be untextured or wireframe textured. So as you can see, now everything is wireframed. And go here. If I select untextured again, you can see how it's untextured. This carries forward into landing as well. So if I go onto one of these green planets, land on it, it's still untextured. So there's that. That will improve performance, but obviously it's quite obvious. So it looks like that, but it looks quite interesting. And oh yeah, and wireframe as well will work in landing. See, wireframe. Then you have, I'll put that to textured mode. Then there's this menu, which is render distances and resolutions. So these are resolutions for different monitors, and things. Obviously lower resolutions will also make the game run better. I can't really demonstrate recording changing the resolution. If I change the resolution, it won't. I don't know how that might mess the recording up. I might find a way to splice that in, but you can see on the testing document there are pictures of different resolutions, and of course all of these tests are referenced in the testing, and also implementation talks about the specific algorithms and further details of how this is all done. Now the resolution demonstration. So as you can see here, I'm filming the screen because it wouldn't be very easy to see the different resolutions when I'm changing the resolution of the screen I'm recording. Worst case scenario, it would break the recording, and best case scenario, it would make it look just a bit worse, and you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. So instead, I'm filming the screen directly because it means it's a lot easier to tell the difference. So first, I'm just going to go into full screen by clicking F11. There you go. So currently I'm running at the resolution 1600 by 1200, which is the default resolution of this display. So if I then go to options, I double clicked. If I then go to options, video, resolution, then you can see there's all these resolutions here, and not all of them will of course work on every display because that's the nature of displays, but and some of them, the more odd ones like these, the 240p ones, etc., you might have to set up custom resolutions in the NVIDIA control panel or the Intel integrated control panel. But some of the more generic ones, like 640 by 480, will work on pretty much everything. So, for example, if I click 640 by 480, you will see we are now in 640 by 480. You can also see, if you, I don't know, can I zoom in on this? You can see the scan lines. At least you can in person. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but you can see the resolution's lower, basically. So if I then click desktop resolution, you can see my mouse is bigger for a start. If I click desktop resolution, it goes back to 1600 by 1200, because that is my desktop resolution. And if I switch to 1024 by 768, I haven't set up as a standard on this monitor, but it should still support it. There you go, that's 1024 by 768. And if I click 1600 by 1200, it will go to 1600 by 1200. So there you go. That's the functionality of the resolution screen. So render distance is quite obvious. It's how far you can see. So you can see, this is the smallest. Now you can also see here a bit more obviously the way that the level of detail system works. So you can see that planet there is textured. The one I'm shooting lasers at, that Earth-looking one, is textured, but that one there isn't. As I approach it, it will become textured. This isn't so obvious when playing normally because it shouldn't be. Level of detail is meant to be something you don't notice, but improves performance in the background. But obviously, when you reduce the render distance so low like this, it becomes a lot more obvious. And there is, of course, different stages of it. So if I up it to 2000, you can see a little bit more, and then 4000, there's loads more. But you can see over there, do you see that green one that that's just above the nose of the spacecraft? If I then set it to 5000, you can see I moved when I menu, but I think it was that one there. You can see it's now textured, whereas it wasn't before. So there you go. And yeah, so also then I'm to gravity. So there is gravity on planets. It depends on the size of the planet and how far away you are, of course. Good. Right now, if I stay stationary, see I'm being drawn into the planet here. You see I'm moving towards it. There you go. Yeah, I'm moving towards it here. And as I get closer, you'll see how big these planets actually are compared to the spaceship. So, I'm still being drawn in, but you can see how huge they are and how big these distances actually are. But you will eventually get drawn. Now, I mean, look at this. You see, I'm still getting close. You can see there's quite a sense of scale flying over the surface now, and just absolutely huge. And I just hit it. But as you can see, they are very big. So everything's a lot bigger than it sort of seems. It's very hard to get perspective right with space games. Everything's very big. You can see a lot. So that's that. I think. Oh yeah, so I will show incremental upgrades. So if I go here, you can see sort of how far the thrust goes. You might have to put the video back and forward in time to compare, but as you can see how far the thrust goes. If I go and upgrade, and I just upgrade once, so if I increase my thrust just once, it's now a lot more. And also, you'll notice, you see the cost down here. This is the cost for each of these. So the cost is 4,000 for the thrust upgrade. So if I click increase thrust, this goes down by 4,000 up here. And that, it goes down by 6,000. Yeah, it goes down by 8, as expected. Now it's just saying you can't buy it, as there's a little dash there. If I click it again, it will say already fully upgraded. And that's the case here too. So, and if I get no score, so if I don't have enough score, which I will need to reload the game for, because I don't think I've got a save file that doesn't have any score on it, so I will quickly. Right, so and then so now I've got no score. I'm not upgraded anymore. If I go and find one of the really quite slow when not upgraded. There we go. If I now click these, you'll see it says insufficient score to perform action. Okay. So yeah, there you go. So I believe that's all of the demonstrations required. Actually, I will. There's one more I should do. If I get into a fight, here.
Commander, we have received important information that there are enemy fighters bound on your position. Be ready to engage if necessary.
Right, there you go. So I'm in here. Right, you see the high scores now going up? So there you go. You can see the high score increase. So that's how the high score works. But if I then see my score's actually gone negative, but my high scores remain there. So there you go. So thank you for watching my video. As I say, if any more information can be found in the written pieces of documentation about this NEA. Yeah, thank you.